Should Washington Wizards fans still be skeptical, or has the team finally turned the corner under Michael Winger and Will Dawkins? Come on, rock with your boy. We're going to talk about it next on Locked On Wizards.
You are Locked On Wizards, your daily Washington Wizards podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Brandon Scott again, and I appreciate you guys making Locked On Wizards your first listen every single day. We are part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every single day. And tonight's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. You can start the season with a big return on FanDuel. Place your first $5 bet, and you'll get started with $200 and bonus bets guaranteed. Visit FanDuel.com to get started. All right, everybody, a lot to talk about tonight. I'm going to convince everybody, if you're a skeptic of the Washington Wizards still at this point, if you don't believe they're headed in the right direction, I'm going to sway you tonight. Like I said, we're going to look at past teams, past GMs. What are the Wizards doing now that is different than what Ernie Grunfeld did or Tommy Shepard did? And how is this team headed in the right direction as opposed to other eras? So I'm definitely going to convince you guys, because I actually think we're headed into a direction that we haven't been headed in a long time. So definitely rock with your boy on that. And I'm going to kind of react to a story that came out. An analyst was very brutal when he slams the Wizards. So is he right, or is he kind of just being a troll? So we're going to look at that. So let's get into it, everybody. Should the Wizards fans still be skeptical with the direction of the Washington Wizards finally hitting the reset button and finally going through a proper rebuild? No, I don't think you should. And like I said, before I kind of convince you guys, let me say this. I get it, though. I get it. Look, about to turn 40, been a Wizards fan since the day I came out the womb. Same thing with my beloved Commanders. You know, obviously we know they had another name at one point, but, you know, same thing with Nationals, but, you know, the Orioles came first. So, like I said, love my teams, you know, but here's the thing. We know what it is with the Wizards, man. You know, like I said, so we haven't won a championship since when? The 70s. I wasn't even alive when we won the championship, so I get it. I get why a lot of fans are skeptical because, you know, and like I said, shout out to DC Onion, man. I definitely shout out to my brother, man, because he brought up a comment to me and really resonated with me a little bit. He was like, look, we've heard lip service here in DC. You know, if you look at all the different eras, look at, you know, all right, let's take a look at Gilbert Arenas there, right? We know what kind of player Gilbert Arenas was, electrifying. And you can probably go right before the Gilbert Arenas era because people forget we were a coin toss away from not getting Gilbert Arenas. But look at the MJ. You know, the MJ show here in DC. You know, that was 2 years from a rebuild. You know, Michael Jordan, to me, he's the GOAT. I'm a Jordan guy. I'm 85 babies. To me, Michael Jordan is the best player to ever touch the basketball. Who made it? You know, I think LeBron James could go down as the best overall player in it, but I think a lot of people, even though he's very popular, forget where Kobe Bryant falls within the realm of, the Mount Rushmore of the NBA. Because I think all three definitely deserve to be on the Mount Rushmore. Now, the fourth guy is the big question. But getting to the point, MJ era, the 2 years, yes, Michael Jordan with his uniform was cute. It was fun, but we were not a playoff team. You know, we held back the development of key players in my opinion. You know, Kwame Brown, did he deserve to be the first overall pick? No. But he was a guy where you see the potential. I thought that if he was properly developed, he could have easily been a 2010 guy. A guy that if you definitely work with his offensive side, kind of echoing Alex Sarr a little bit. He wasn't as tall as Alex Sarr, but and not as swift on his feet as Alex Sarr. But Alex Sarr is a guy where the defense you're going to see that part of his game first, the rim protection. And the offense is going to come along. So Kwame Brown, I definitely felt like the MJ held back the development of Kwame Brown, who could have been a future piece. Again, should he have been the number one overall pick? No, but he should have definitely. He had a lot of potential, and I think that if properly rebuilt, you know, if they were properly rebuilding, if they properly developed Kwame Brown, then you could have had a very productive player for a long time. No, could he have been an all-star? Not quite. Could he have been an above-average starter? Yes. Then we slide into the Gilbert Arenas there, right? You know, under Ernie Grunfeld. Oh, Ernie Grunfeld, what? He was famous for what? Giving away first-round picks. Like it was candy. And if you look at a lot of players that he gave up first-round picks to acquire, looking at Markieff Morris, which we did hold on to Markieff for a while, but, you know, looking at Bogdanovich, you know, we sent a first-round pick to the Brooklyn Nets for him to be our sixth man, and then he walks the next year to Indiana. So, you know, using first-round picks on players that didn't even stay with the team, and we didn't even get assets in return for, and the fact that he was so notoriously bad in the draft, you know, not getting Klay Thompson, you know, trading that pick that could have been Stephen Curry for who? Mike Miller and Randy Ford. I'm just saying, like, notoriously bad. And you look at Tommy Shepard. His trade game was not bad till his last year as a GM. It was terrible. Acquiring Monte Morris for KCP, in my opinion, you gave up a guy who was a 3-and-D guy that we desperately needed. I think that if you look at that trade, that possibly could have been the nail in the coffin for Tommy Shepard. But, as a drafting GM, it's not that he was a bad drafting GM, but here's the thing. He drafted players who didn't fit what the team was trying to do at the time. With Bradley Beal, with KP, with Kyle Kuzma, with Weston Jr. at the time. They were, I had to say win now because they weren't really winning too much, but they were a team that their aspirations were the 8th seed or the playing tournament. So, we just couldn't, we drafted guys that needed to be immediate impact players. And, Denny had to be developed. Corey Kispert had to be developed. Ray Hachimura had to be developed. Johnny Davis is still developing. So, we have seen that different eras. The Gilbert Arenas era, very electrified, but we can only get to a certain point in the playoffs. John Wall, we couldn't surround him with that one guy, that Paul George, that Klay Thompson type of player, where we couldn't get past a certain point. So the question is, what I'm trying to kind of sell you guys on, how do you guys know that this is, finally going to be the team that's going to be built into a sustainable winner? Easy. Number one, look at head coach. We haven't had a head coaching staff or a coaching staff with a head coach where he is notoriously known as being one of the best developing coaches in the league. We've had, bad fits at coach. We've had, coaches that were decent, but we didn't have coaches that fit what the team was trying to do. If you look at Scotty Brooks, he was a coach that, he's a coach for a team that you want to make a playoff spot. We were not in a position to make the playoffs. So like I said, I kind of bring that back. We were with the John Wall era, but and that's what I'm saying. You can argue that in the different eras of Wizards basketball, we've been in this constant gray area where we don't know where we really are. We have an identity crisis, and we don't know if we're rebuilding. We don't know if we're a playing team. We don't know if we're a playoff team. We built from the middle. We gave away first round picks. We couldn't draft. We couldn't trade. We couldn't bring in free agents. We had an incompetent front office on the Ernie Grunfeld. And what does he do? He ends up hiring or upgrading his assistant. So I think where did it finally switch for the Washington Wizards? And I'm gonna say this: Ted Leonsis is finally not only hiring a competent front office, but letting the front office take the lead and build this team. For a long time, Ted Leonsis kind of, we all know that, look, the Capitals are very successful, and a lot of the effort, a lot of the time goes to the Capitals, but he spent a lot more time and effort putting the right people in the right places for the Washington Wizards. And I definitely see him a lot more involved with trying to get the Washington Wizards to be not only a good team in the future, but a sustainable winner. Other things to think about. A comment made about Malcolm Brogdon, where Malcolm Brogdon said, look, this is, I made suggestions. They went out there and got weight equipment. How bad was it? We ain't got weight equipment. The fact that Will Dawkins' company is going out and getting the right equipment, going out there and, like I said, Malcolm Brogdon even like the cafeteria food. Everything, they're building up the facilities for the Washington Wizards. So it really tells you how bad was it under Ernie Grunfeld and Tommy Shepard. How bad was this team being run? Finally, Ted Leonsis is saying, look, I'm letting the basketball people do their job. What do you need? Let me know what you need. I'm going to get you what you need. And boom, the new facilities, the new weight training equipment, the fact that even, you may look at a cafeteria and be like, oh, but look, the fact that they like the food better than any other team he's been on tells you something that what they're trying to do. And I'm not saying that the cafeteria is the big reason why you should be, not be skeptical, but they're putting all the right people, putting all the right things, they're checking all the right boxes. And I think that if you're still skeptical, like I said, I get it why you'd be skeptical. I get it. We've heard lip service here for years, if not decades. Lip service. This team's only this close. We're one piece away. We the head coach. We this, and this. And we've been let down so many times, whether it's incompetent front office, whether it's players getting hurt, whether, and the list goes on. We need a championship here in DC. We are, I'm telling you, we haven't won a championship since 1978. Like, this fan base deserves a championship. This city deserves an NBA championship. And so what makes this team different than past teams? Easy. Again, head coach, development head coach. We have not had that. He knows how to develop high-end talent. Just ask Kevin Durant. Just ask James Harden. Just ask Russell Westbrook. What else do I like? The front office. Like I said, they're putting all the right pieces in the right places, man. Rebuilding the facilities. Definitely putting the equipment in there for them to get stronger. Definitely, other things. They're putting in, they're rebuilding everything as far as preparation, practice facilities, everything. And so, but what else do you look at? The front office is what I think is the really the key thing in all this, because We finally have a competent front office. President of basketball operations, Mike Winger. General Manager Will Dawkins. I forget what the title of Travis Schlenk is, and I feel so bad because he's always the guy that we always forget about. But Travis Schlenk is a guy who's brought in for a reason. Troy Weaver, I don't know why he was brought in, but he's brought in. But here's the thing: we have a competent front office. They know basketball. They know the analytical side of basketball. Now you have Ish Smith as a scout. They're doing it the right way. They're not becoming dependent on analytics. They're using it as a tool, as an additional tool. The scouting department revamped and ready to roll. Developmental staff is revamped and ready to roll. These are all reasons why. Look, they're trying to build this team and make it into a sustainable winner, a sustainable contender. What's that mean to you? I'll tell you what it means to me. You're looking at a front office, you're looking at an ownership group, you're looking at an organization where they're not just trying to be good for 3 to 5 years, man. They're trying to be good for 10 plus years. They want a team that's going to be sustainable for a decade plus. A team that's going to challenge every year, year in and year out, be a threat in the Eastern Conference. A team that's going to bring respect to the Washington Wizards organization because we're easy to kind of attack. We're easy to make fun of. We're easy to kind of underrate a little bit, and rightfully so. We're very early on in a rebuild. But look, guys, we are, ladies and gentlemen, we are heading in the right direction. We have things going on with this organization that we didn't always have, man. So like I said, I get it why you'd be skeptical because we've been here before. We've been here a million times. We've heard lip service. We've heard that we're a piece away. We've heard that we're a coach away. We've heard this and that. Oh, injuries were the big reason. This or that. But we are finally heading in the right direction. Like I said, you can't properly really grade or judge this front office yet because we're still early on. You could probably look at 3 to 5 years before you can even start to criticize or applaud. But like I said, we are definitely heading in the right direction. So shout out to DC on your man. Definitely click the, definitely resonated. Your comment resonated with me because I get it. If you're still skeptical of what this team is doing, I get why you would be. And that, like I said, I look at this as I'm with you. I get it. I'm a fan too. Right now I'm an analyst. But also a fan of this team. And we've heard it before. But this team, they're doing things they haven't did before. The front office is legit, guys. Will Dawkins is going to rebuild this team. This team's going to get younger. You're going to see a lot of movement at the deadline. But he's going to get younger, but he's going to rebuild this team. Michael Winger, I'm saying, he knows what he's doing. Brian Keith, he's going to develop this young core. And he's going to get this team where they need to be. They're going to develop. They're going to scout the right way. We're going to build this team the right way because we have never been through a proper rebuild. So, look, get in the comment section. Let me know what you're thinking. Did I sway you? Or give me the reasons why you're still skeptical. Why is it that you just can't? You're not ready to get behind what the Washington Wizards are doing yet. So definitely let your boy know what you guys are thinking, man. So there was a report. There was an article through Sports Illustrated, Inside the Wizards, man, by Matthew Schmidt. So we're going to kind of react to that. Is he right or is he kind of trolling a little bit? But before we do, tonight's episode is brought to you by Gametime. So you guys know I'm a sports nut, man. I go to games all the time. Baseball season is over. My beloved O's are not in the playoffs anymore. But look, football season is here, so you definitely believe that I'm going to the Commanders games, JMU, the list goes on, WVU, UVA. So look, to me, Gametime is the best ticket out of all of it. I ain't gonna name drop nobody, but look, there's 3 reasons why they are better than all the competitors. Well, number 1, Gametime picks. Curation makes it easier to save more on sports events, but not just sports, y'all. Concerts, comedy shows, theater events, etc. All that I'm trying to tell y'all. Seat views, get a panoramic view from your seat in the app before you even buy, which is key. And Gametime ticket coverage. Your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. So look, do yourself a favor. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use promo code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off your first purchase. And terms apply. And again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDONNBA, LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off. Download the Gametime today. What time is it? Gametime, baby. All right, everybody, let's get back into it. Now, this was an article put up through Inside the Wizards for Sports Illustrated. This article was put out by Matthew Schmidt, but it is built off of comments by Bleacher Report's Dan Favale. So definitely shout out to Bleacher Report's Dan Favale and Matthew Schmidt, man. Great work reading your article. So it says, analyst brutally slams Wizards. The Washington Wizards have made their direction for the upcoming NBA season crystal clear. So let's take a look at it. The Washington Wizards clearly entering a rebuilding year. They won just 15 games last season, and they didn't do a whole lot to get better during the season, man. It's pretty clear what direction the Wizards are aiming for heading into the 2024 to 2025 NBA campaign. And Bleacher Report said, Dan Favell said it without actually saying it. Oh, Lord. And it says, quote unquote, if you needed further proof that Washington Wizards give zero flying you-know-whats about winning basketball games, well, what the heck? You definitely didn't need it. They gave it to you anyway, Favell wrote. Favell then cited Washington's decision to trade Denny Avdia as evidence. Flipping Denny Avdia for Malcolm Brogdon, Bub Carrington, and a 2029 first-rounder, second most favorable from Boston, Milwaukee, or Portland, is a flagrantly future-focused move, he says. It is also an extension of how the Wizards will operate this season. So also goes on to say that Favell didn't go as far as to say that the Wizards are tanking. No one will come outright and say it, even though, look, we all know they tank it, baby. But it's blatantly obvious that Washington is playing for the future, and who could blame them? All right, so, and he goes on to kind of say, throws a little shade at some of the moves made. He also says that the Wizards are clearly not playoff contenders, which makes their decision to sign Jonas Valanciunas over the summer that much stranger. So I got to say, I got to disagree. I have to disagree with most of what he said. Now, I get it. We are definitely tanking. We're definitely tanking for 2025 and possibly 2026. And I believe in 2027, we're going to be a better team, and we could be challenging for play-in. That is definitely where my head's at. I think that after 2026, this team will be better and be ready to make certain additions, whether it's through personnel or system, to make this team a playoff team, in my opinion, because 2025 has got a lot of talent. And General Manager Will Dawkins has been known that he will possibly trade back into the lottery and pick up another first-round pick. So, like I said, if he can grab a couple of high-impact players in this year's draft, which is one of the sexier drafts for a while, and then go get another good player or two in 2026, we are definitely cooking with oil, man. But what do I disagree with? Well, I mean, look, I'm going to get to the Valanciunas. I think that's a good move. I don't know how you criticize that move. I mean, he's a guy that you're going to flip. He's going to be a great mentor for Alex R., a great mentor for Tristan Vucevic. Look, Marvin Bagley III is still young, so he's going to be a great mentor to these guys. He's a dog. He's going to push Alex R. in practice. But we're going to flip him. Now, are the Knicks still a destination with Cat? We'll see. Could he be viewed as a potential? You will see. I think the Knicks are out. You're probably looking at, really the Lakers. I think the Lakers were definitely on Jonas Valanciunas, so we're going to be able to flip him. Sadiq Bey, we'll see. Obviously, he's probably not going to play but a quarter of the season if he plays at all. But you see the potential in him. But I definitely see him as kind of a 50-50 player. When I say 50-50 player, Jordan Poole's a 50-50 player. I can see him being a future piece here in DC. But I can also see them bringing his trade value up and flipping him. Same thing with Kyle Kuzma. I can see him being here the rest of his contract. But I also see them flipping him when his value is high. Valanciunas is in that book. Malcolm Brogdon is definitely gone. So Sadiq Bey, what kind of player is he going to be when he comes back? And do they view him as a future piece? Corey Kispert is another guy who's kind of a 50-50 player where I would love Corey Kispert to stay. But, they could take the Denny Avdia route and sign him to a team-friendly deal and then move him. What else do I disagree with? I mean, yeah, we all know how I feel about the Denny move. And here's the thing, man. Very often than not, you have a lot of people now, and it's very surprising. A lot of people who are fans of players, not fans of teams. And I'm a fan of the Washington Wizards. I like Denny, but I'm not to the point where I'll ever prioritize him over the team as a whole, or Jordan Poole as a player over the team as a whole. But you do see that there's massive fan bases not only with Jordan Poole, Denny Avdia. We know the history with the channel and Denny fans. Even though a lot of most Denny fans were actually really cool people. You always had your bad apples who were off the chain. Same thing with Jordan Poole. I believe that a lot of his fans who I guess are fans first of Jordan Poole as opposed to fans of the Wizards, they're very passionate. And like I said, but here's the thing, you don't do your favorite player any justice if you're not willing to let him take any criticism. Jordan Poole is going to have a lot of growing pains, but I think he's heading in the right direction. You know what I mean? So, but getting back to Denny, I'm a big Denny fan now. I didn't like the move, but if you look at what we were able to acquire, like I said, I think you guys know how I feel. I'm not going to beat a dead horse, man, about Denny Avdia. But here's the thing also. I mean, the deal wasn't bad. Malcolm Brogdon, we're going to be able to flip him. He's a good mentor. Bub Carrington he's got star potential. And we got a 2029 first rounder. So that pick is in middle school right now. So we'll see on that. So what a bad deal. It's just, to me, is the fact that he's 23 years old. And moving him before you move on from Kyle Kuzma. Even I like Kuz, but here's the thing: you got to move Kuz at some point. You have to move Kuz at some point. You want to get some value back for your best players. And I know a lot of people saying, "Oh, well, he's your best player. Hold on to him." But here's the thing: we're in a rebuild. Like, so that's the point of a rebuild, is that you get assets for your best players if they are indeed not a long-term fit. He's not a long-term fit here, and is what it is. Jordan Poole, I think, can be, but again, the Washington Wizards front office is in a really good position where, look, his value could go up, especially if he's going to have the season that I think he's going to have. Same thing with Kuz. I think Kuz could be an all-star this year, because obviously a lot of that has to do with team performance, and we're not going to be very good, but he's proven to be that 20 plus a night score. So could he be a reserve? Yeah, absolutely. And I definitely look at Jordan Poole as the most improved player of the year candidate. He's definitely going to get some votes for that. So like I said, I agree, disagree. The Denny trade to me is still a hard pill to swallow. And I get a lot of people, is 50-50. A lot of people see him, saw his potential here in DC, and some people just don't like Denny. There's just many reasons why. I'm not gonna get into that, but so I agree and I disagree with that segment where flipping Denny was a hard move, but Bob Carrington's he's got star potential. Malcolm Brogdon is going to be a good mentor. He's definitely a good move for the culture of the front office or the culture of the locker room. My bad. And you're able to acquire another first round pick in 2029. So look, we don't know. It'd be cool to be a fly on the wall. We don't know what the conversations were behind the scenes. Why Denny was moved? He could have requested. We don't know. GMs come in, they evaluate what players they like, what players they see as fits. Well, Dawkins company, I guess, didn't see him as a fit. We don't know. Just a lot of speculation. But none of us really know. And like I said, I'm a guy that has media credentials, man. And I like I said, there's been crickets about that. And I think we're at the point now too, where it's like the ship has sailed. He's gone. Wish him all the best. Definitely wish him blessings in Portland, man. But Bob Carrington is the focus. Bob Carrington should be the focus. We can look at a lot of moves within the last 10 years with the Washington Wizards and say, oh, this was a good move. This was a bad move. You can look at certain draft classes and say, oh, we were in a position to get this guy. Oh, the list goes on. There's always buyer's remorse to a certain degree with every, looking at most drafts and most off seasons. You're going to make mistakes. So like I said, that ship has sailed, wishing the best. Same way like I wish Rui the best in LA. You got to move on at some point. But Bob Carrington is going to be a star. So I don't agree there, but I disagree, but I agree. What else would they? Like I said, is he brutally honest? Yeah. I mean, like I said, I've been known time and time again. It's easy to kick the Wizards right down. So, but I think we're definitely headed in the right direction. We're going to be in the bottom 5 of the Eastern Conference, but we're definitely heading in the right direction. So, all right, everybody, we're going to get into my itinerary for next week coming up. Obviously, preseason is on Sunday. So, we're going to get into kind of a mini preview because it is preseason. It's not a regular season game, so I'm not going to do a full preview, but I'm going to give you guys 3 things I want to see from the Wizards this preseason. But before we do, tonight's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Hey, NFL fans, you can start the season with a big return on FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. So when you get a hunch in the middle of the game, you can check out the latest stats, view live play-by-play, and so much more on the same page where you place your bets, people. You can start with $200 in bonus bets guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet. That's FanDuel.com. And thank you guys for making Locked On Wizards your first listen today. Appreciate y'all, man. For your second listen, find Locked On Fantasy Basketball. Become a fantasy basketball expert and get the edge over your league mates with daily tips from Josh Lloyd, my guy. Find Locked On Fantasy Basketball on YouTube or wherever you listen to your podcast. All right, everybody, let's get into it. So I'm going to give you 3 things I want to see from the Washington Wizards during the preseason to kind of get this team prep for the regular season, and then a kind of itinerary because, again, Sunday in Montreal against the Toronto Raptors, the Washington Wizards play their first preseason game. So like we do, like we've been doing the last couple of years, man, at each and every game, preseason, just like the regular season, we will be going live. So I will be going live on Sunday to celebrate the Washington Wizards victory. Oh, hold on. Washington Wizards matchup versus the Toronto Raptors. So definitely tune in and rock with your boy, man. But 3 things I kind of want to see from this team, man, during the preseason to kind of get them where they need to be and get prepped for the regular season. Number 1, you want to see that pace from the get, man. Right out the gate. This team was number 1 in pace in the second half of last season. Continue that trend. With Jordan Poole and officially the starting point guard, man. We will see what the starting five is going to be. We're going to cover that in future videos, what could potentially be the starting five for the Washington Wizards. But Jordan Poole is the guy. He's the quarterback. He's the guy who is running the show. He's the MC. You know what I'm saying? He is the guy running the show. So push the pace. I want to see a faster team. I want to see this team attack teams in transition and really catch his defenses off guard. Number 2, establish a defensive identity, right? Establish a defensive identity. You have some high-level defenders on this team, man. Alex R, the first part of his game that you're going to see flourish, it could be rim protection. Bilal Coulibaly, above-average defender, a dog. Like I said, Jonas Valanciunas always plays with a chip on the shoulder. Malcolm Brogdon, he's not too shabby on the defensive end. Looking at players like Corey Kispert, Jordan Poole, showing a lot more effort and energy on the defensive end. I think you gotta give them their flowers, man. They've shown a lot more effort and energy on the defensive end. Those two especially. So number 3, be a smarter basketball team. Utilize the shot clock. Run more plays. And the thing is, shoot high percentage shots. As a team, you can point at a few players here and there, and I'm not gonna get on them. I got on them all last year, but we had to be a more efficient team, especially from our number 1 and number 2 scoring options. Looking at Corey Kispert. I definitely want to see Corey Kispert as a more efficient play. But looking at Kyle Kuzma and Jordan Poole, you want to definitely look at the fact that they're the number 1 and number 2 scoring options. You're going to see more efficiency, a lot more high percentage shots, a lot more situations where you use your scoring prowess to get young players like Bilal Coulibaly and Alex Sarr a lot more involved in the offense. You're definitely looking at Jordan Poole, and at times with Kyle Kuzma, him bring the ball up, using the pick and roll, using the pick and pop with Jonas Valanciunas to greater effect. You know what I'm saying? I definitely think that Jonas Valanciunas, with his ability as a screener, man, with the pick and pop, you're going to see those 3-pointers open up for Jordan Poole. You're definitely going to see with the pick and roll. You're going to see Jordan Poole give dime after dime to Jonas Valanciunas, man. So I think there's a lot of capability with the pick and roll and the pick and pop with Jordan Poole and Jonas Valanciunas, man. So those are the 3 things I'm going to see for the Washington Wizards during the preseason to help them get prepped for the 2024 and 2025 NBA regular season. So again, I will see you guys on Sunday to recap the Wizards versus Toronto Raptors preseason game numero uno. Number 1, baby, because we right here, guys. And like I said, the end of this month is when the regular season starts. Praise God. So look, the season's right around the corner, y'all. So like I said, it's going to be a long season, but we're going to have fun over here in Locked On Wizards. So definitely rock with your boy, Brandon. First year solo, man. Like I said, thank you guys. Thank you. I can't say thank you enough for not only showing me and the real Ed Oliver all the support you guys had the last couple of years. Well, me and him, we're the best backcourt in the DMV. And like I said, I'm gonna have Ed on here probably a couple times before the regular season starts. So definitely tune in for my man, the real Ed Oliver, coming back on the show. Looking for a couple of appearances with him. We're gonna bring back the State of the Wizards back on the show, and we're gonna bring on a lot more guests coming up within the next couple of weeks. We're probably gonna have 4 or 5 guests just to chop it up about the Wizards season coming up. So definitely, if you're looking for more guests, they are coming up, man. Like I said, it's tough during the off season to a certain degree because a lot of people go on vacation. A lot of people, a lot of people do work jobs who also are analysts. So man, definitely finding the right time for schedules has been one hiccup with guests, man. But we got a lot of guests coming up, man. So definitely rock with your boys. So again, I will see you guys on Sunday, man. So hopefully we will be reacting to the Washington Wizards preseason game number 1 victory over the Toronto Raptors. So definitely look forward to chopping up with you guys on Sunday. So real quick, if you drink responsibly. All right. Definitely drink at home. Don't drink and drive. Do not do that. Don't smoke and drive. It's supposed to be nice here in the DMV, the Detroit. Look, it's been a long day, y'all. So bear with your boy. The DC area, man. So definitely, if you got a family, look, take them outside, man. Definitely get some time outside. But thing is, I hope everybody has a blessed weekend, man. Definitely enjoy your weekend. Again, see you guys on Sunday. So hail to the Wizards and peace. See you guys Sunday.